Ahoy, YouTube sailors! As you saw at the opening, a very special episode of Love Boat, including the Gorn. And me and Brian, we guest starred on the Love Boat.
Yeah.
Along with Ape from Planet of the Apes.
The Gorn and I had a whirlwind romance on that episode.
Then Brian threw her overboard. Welcome to Collector's Confessions YouTube channel. Today we'll be diving into the sea of nostalgia with something truly special. The Love Boat action figures. That's right, there were Love Boat action figures. Do you remember the iconic TV show that took us on romantic cruises?
I remember Julie and Isaac.
Isaac was probably second coolest person in the 70s to Fonzie.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Cool, such a cool character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, now you can bring the stories from Love Boat home with you.
If you want to.
If you wanted to. And play with them in miniature form.
Yep.
Before we look at the figures, let's look at the iconic 1970s television series. For those of you that don't know what the Love Boat is, it hasn't been remade yet like many other shows. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised they haven't done a Love Boat reboot.
It's so funny because I was just, before we started recording, that was the first thing I thought of was there a reboot?
There has never been a reboot.
And I was racking my brain. I can't believe there hasn't been.
They rebooted Fantasy Island, made it more horrific.
Yes.
Love Boat.
Put Malcolm McDowell in it. Yeah. That's going to terrify
Love
the
Boat
crap out of anyone.
has never been redone, which is, I'm surprised because you could have a lot of, and if you did Love Boat now, it would be mostly like reality TV people would probably be on it.
Yeah, like
I'm surprised they haven't done a Love Boat reality show, like how they do all those.
Well, they have a reality show that's on a boat.
Yeah, but the Love Boat, they could do the Love Boat and have like regular characters. You know what I'm saying? Like mix it together, kind of.
I don't want a reality show. I'd like a scripted.
I would watch a Love Boat.
Yeah. Give me a scripted hour drama and let's lean into horror. Yeah, give me a horror Love Boat.
No.
Yes.
No.
Mm-hmm. Bruce Campbell could be the captain.
Yeah, okay. He could be. He probably would take that role. The Love Boat sailed from 1977 to 1986.
When it hit an iceberg and everyone died.
Over 250 episodes of this beloved series.
250
episodes.
God damn.
Set aboard a cruise ship, its unique premise gave viewers a glimpse into the lives of both passengers and crew members, creating a captivating blend of drama and comedy.
Time out. Question.
Go ahead.
This is not time out from recording.
Time out from
the script for a moment.
All right.
Was it a single ship specifically?
Yes, it was.
It was. Okay. I couldn't remember.
It was.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It was a single ship.
Okay.
And they actually Mego made a toy of it. Mm-hmm. So we'll discuss the name of the ship.
So it was specifically for singles to go and meet people.
I don't think so, because there were times when families were there.
Right, okay. Because I'm thinking
it was a cruise ship.
There must have, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it was a cruise ship.
Yeah. I don't know why I had this idea that it was specifically
That's what you want it to be.
Well, if I remade it, yes.
Well, you did meet the Gorn when we were on.
God.
Who could forget the charming Captain Stubing, the ever-efficient cruise director Julie McCoy, the lovable bartender Isaac, and the ship's doctor, Doc?
He had a name, didn't he?
I don't remember it. These characters became household names, except for Doc, each contributing to the show's unforgettable charm.
It's funny, I could see his face in my head. So
you can picture every one of them, as I said. If you're a kid of the 1970s, you are picturing this as we say it. This is a look in our nostalgia. This is what we do here at Collector's Confession. We pick a topic and we go back and reminisce about it.
God, I love Boat.
The Love Boat was a masterclass in romantic storytelling. Each episode featured a new set of passengers with their own love stories. Many of the most popular actors and actresses of the time were on the Love Boat at one time. Mm-hmm. What was her name? Charo.
Yeah. Come on.
Charo.
Couldn't do anything without Charo in the 70s and early 80s.
My name is Charo, and I'm here to say I brought the Gucci.
And everything. Their on-ship stories often intertwined with the humor and heartwarming moments. It was the perfect escapade for viewers seeking a weekly dose of feel-good entertainment.
Man, did we need it in the 70s and early 80s.
We don't know. How much did we need? The impressive array of guest stars is one of the things that sets the Love Boat apart from other shows at the time. From Hollywood legends to rising stars, the series hosted a who's who of celebrities. That's why I'm surprised they haven't redone it yet.
It's crazy that they haven't.
It was like a floating red carpet, and fans eagerly tuned in each week to see what familiar face would be on the ship this week. Beyond its entertainment value, the Love Boat left an indelible mark on pop culture. It not only inspired a wave of cruise travel, but also became a template for future ensemble cast shows, proving that the formula of love, laughter, and guest stars could create a television sensation.
Absolutely.
Think about what an advertisement for cruise ships this
Yeah, I really never thought about it from that angle, but yes, which is probably
absolutely.
why I'm not wealthy.
Have you ever?
Because I don't think of things like
have
that.
you ever gone on a cruise?
No.
Okay, I've been on one cruise in my life, and I'm going on another one this summer. And the first one, you sing Love Boat in your head when you get on it.
Do you really?
I don't think you can. You cannot.
Other than my trip on the Love Boat, no, I've never been on a cruise.
The Gorn. As a child of the 1970s, you probably watched the show alongside your parents, and maybe you wanted to sail on the Pacific Princess.
The Gorn was by Pacific Princess.
And Mego made it possible, at least in small form. The Pacific Princess was the name of the boat.
I know.
So let's look at the sea treasures that we call the Love Boat action figure line. The line consisted of 6 figures. Captain Merrill Stubing,
Who paved the way for bold captains, Captain Picard, etc.
you. Ship's Doctor, Dr. Adam, Doc Bricker. You had no idea that was his name.
No clue.
No one out there who watched the show knew what Doc's name was.
No.
Yeoman Purser, Burl, Gopher Smith. Didn't know his name either, I bet you.
Burl.
You only called him Gopher, and no one knew his name.
His name was
Burl.
Burl?
No one knew his name was Burl.
What kind of name is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Gopher's name. Bartender Isaac Washington, one of the coolest characters ever to grace the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Cruise director Julie McCoy. Brian had a crush on her. And the captain's daughter Vicky Stubing, who plays an awesome role in Aeroplane too.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Awesome role.
Yeah.
These figures were definitely missing something. Making them 3 3/4 figures instead of 8-inch definitely had an impact.
But keep going. I'm sorry.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Each 3 3/4 figure came with a cardboard card with a picture of the crew on front and a simple one-color line art on the back that showed the entire set. Clearly a cost-cutting measure. Had they made the figures 8 inches instead of 3 3/4 inches, they could have came with a bunch of accessories. For example, Julie could have had a clipboard. Mm-hmm. Gopher could have his tray that he walks around with. Isaac could have had drinks with him.
He had a shaker.
Yeah. Doc could have been equipped with some medical equipment.
Sure.
The thing to me is, if they would have made them 8-inch figures instead of 3 3/4 figures, you could have actually played and had guest stars come in. Yeah. So you had a Cher doll, you had a Farrah Fawcett doll, you had a Susan Summers doll.
Sure.
You had the Dukes of Hazzard.
You could reenact an episode.
Gorn could have actually been on this ship.
Yeah.
Planet of the Apes character. You could have, at that time, Mego didn't have a lot of 3 3/4 figures. Eric Estrada. They had mostly 8-inch figures. And if you want people to buy these figures, the 8-inch figures go perfectly with the idea of having a guest star on your ship with all the other 8-inch figures. 3 3/4 inch figures at this time, not a good idea. And these figures did not sell well at all. It failed.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's less the size of the figures, though I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I do agree with that part of it. But I think it's also that the Love Boat wasn't a show aimed at kids, really. It might have been massively popular.
It was massively popular.
But think about when these figures came out, which would have been what, 79?
About there, yeah.
Yeah, about 79. We were really into Star Wars
80,
figures.
100%.
How could these figures find their way into the Star Wars collector's world? They can't.
It can't.
All they would ever be were victims.
Yes.
Like, that would be it.
But again, like we've talked about in some of our other toy videos. If you check back in our calendar, we have a bunch of toy collectors specifically focused on Mego.
Right.
That and Star Wars. That you're, as a kid, you not necessarily only your toy dollars. You have your toy wishes. So you got Christmas presents, you got your birthday presents, and you would get toys. And I don't think there were many kids who would have wrote the Love Boat on their Christmas list as a, with all the other good figures you could have got at this time.
Right.
Mego action figures, you know, Micronauts, Star Wars.
The market is so flooded.
It's flooded at this point, and it's going to be more flooded, you know, in the afterwards. I just don't see. But even like
I just imagine this pitch meeting at Mego where someone's like, kids love science fiction toys. So you know what we're going to do? We're throwing all our eggs in the Love Boat basket.
Yeah, I just like
What?
and the fact that you make them 3 3/4, you can't even play with Barbie with them.
No,
So you
she's,
can't do
she's a giant monster compared to them.
So it just any chance of kids going and saying I want that. Listen, Love Boat's not the only figure line. It is MASH. They do a figure line, which we'll probably cover at some point. Same thing. I can't understand why a kid would want to play with MASH.
The horrors of war.
Or there's other ones. We'll get to them. Mego made a couple. Mego was at one point just buying up. After they didn't get Star Wars and they had the chance to, they just started buying up properties and just making figures for whatever. And they reduced the size to 3 3/4, which really helped them.
And some
hurt them. Sorry, really hurt them.
Some were winners, Micronauts.
Yeah.
Some were losers. Love Boat.
Love Boat. Waltons.
Waltons.
We'll cover that too at some point.
Yes.
There was even a replica of the Pacific Princess that is extremely rare because it was primarily only sold in Canada. It came out as the line was dying. So what are you calling all collectors? The Love Boat action figures are not easy to find as they came out shortly before Mego went under, making them a must-have for toy collectors today. The packaging is adorned with classic scenes from the show, making it a perfect addition to any collection.
Now, it makes sense for people now to be crazy about Love Boat figures because there are people our age who collect things. I could see Super 7 doing a really cool thing with Love Boat.
I would agree.
The way they've done with a lot of stuff that you're like, really? And it just works. You know? I don't see...
I'm not sure if Love Boat holds the same sense of nostalgia that other lines do.
But there's a certain kind...
Because let's we have done videos on Star Wars, we have done videos on Star Trek. They still hold a special place in people's heart. I don't see many people talking about, besides us, Love Boat.
It's true. I guess so.
I mean, in all honesty, is anybody clamoring for a Love Boat figure right now? You may be collecting these as Mego collectors.
Yes.
If you're a Mego fan, you're trying to collect all the pieces of Mego that came out. Hits and misses, and this is definitely a miss, but I don't think reissuing these, I don't see a really big fan base for Love Boat figures.
Now, as far as design and size goes, these are kind of similar to the Star Trek motion picture figures, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they are. Very much so. Which Mego also put out.
Right.
So I guess you could have, William Shatner on your Love Boat cruise.
Yeah, but wouldn't everyone be like, why are you still in costume?
Why are you still in costume? Why are you wearing that? So what do you think? Are you a Love Boat fan? Did you watch Love Boat as a kid? Did you have the toys? I really want to hear from someone who had the Love Boat toys and how you incorporated them into your whole entire toy realm. Did you use the Love Boat figures to have some of your Star Wars figures go on a cruise? Did the Jawas go on a Love Boat cruise together? I'm sorry.
If you had the Pacific Princess toy, I would especially like to see a picture of that because I imagine I haven't seen a picture of it yet as of recording this.
Yeah.
But it's got to be massive.
It's big. It was big.
It had to be huge.
Yeah.
Because I remember the
4 decks.
I mean, do you remember the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier? That was like huge.
That would be a good the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier.
Oh.
Cobra attacks the
That's
Love Boat.
That's the only thing that would
Cobra
happen.
captures
In my
the
childhood,
Pacific Princess.
the Pacific Princess would have been straight up victim. Just
everything you were playing.
Every Godzilla would have destroyed it. The Transformers eventually would have attacked it.
Yep.
It would have just been a nonstop.
So here's another one of our trips through nostalgia. We look back at the good and sometimes the bad. So there you have it, folks. The Love Boat action figures. A delightful trip down memory lane.
It was nice.
It was nice.
It's kind of sweet. Yeah,
We haven't thought about Love Boat in a long time. Now you know Doc's name.
Yep.
Whether you're a fan of the show or a collector looking for a unique piece, these figures are a fantastic addition to your collection. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to more nostalgic adventures. Until next time, happy sailing, love what you collect.
Collect what you love.
And enjoy the Love Boat. You're going to sing it?
No, not this time.
Brian's not going to sing us out.
I'm still heartbroken.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.